Hi Danish learner, welcome back to my channel Danish Matters. If you're new to this channel, I'm Tina Baga, your Danish friend and tutor, and I've been teaching Danish as a second language since 2009, and people from all over the world, all kinds of nationalities, with all kinds of challenges with the Danish language. There is nothing I haven't seen or heard. So yeah, I'm a Danish teacher, and if you would like a Danish course with me, then write to tina@danishmatters.dk. You can also support my work by going to Buy Me a Coffee. There's also a direct link in the comments. And there are also links to all the resources that Danish Matters offer. For example, my video pronunciation course. There's a link for that in the comments. A lot of Danish learners struggle with pronunciation. You can also find my book, Danish Matters. It's available on Amazon. It's very cheap. And it includes little text, sort of like column style, about words, expressions. There's a whole longer sort of few more texts about the Danish language history. At the end of the book, there's about swear words and so on. So it's about the Danish language, and it's for intermediate plus-ish learners. Yeah, so go check that out. So Danish Matters have some resources for Danish learners that you can find links for in the comments. Yeah. Now, I sometimes do videos where I, in the title, write a Danish word, and then I write, what kind of word is that? Because there's so many words that are confusing to Danish learners, and they are in expressions or in some kind of compound connection that confuse Danish learners, and that is why I do these videos. So today it's about the word hånd, which means a hand. In plural, it's called hænder. So as you can hear, there is an R in plural. And that's the modern day Danish. Back in the day, this word was without the R at the end in plural. It was hende. And it's still in an expression that we have. I used to have a teacher when I was studying at Copenhagen Business School. Before I switched, because I did, after 1.5 years, I switched to Copenhagen University, where I studied French and cultural journalism. Later on, I took some modules in Danish as a second language. But I had a teacher there at Copenhagen Business School. She was English. And she was telling the class about a certain assignment that she wanted us to hand in. And she was speaking in Danish. And she said, den skal være mig i hænder. And that's an expression in Danish, except she was saying it wrong. There was actually a student correcting her. It's not me, but there was someone saying, it's actually not, den skal være mig i hænder. It's, den skal være mig i hende, because it's an old expression. So the back in the day, the old version of the plural form was the one, or is the one, that we use in that expression. Den skal være mig i hende. But normally we would talk about hænder, yeah, when we talk about hands. So that was a little language history, very briefly, about this word for you. So today, en hånd, to hænder, yeah. We could also say, if we shake hands with someone, we would say, giv hånd, or jeg giver ham hånden, or jeg giver hende hånden. Yeah. You could also say, giv en hånd. That means to help. In English, lend a hand. Yeah, it's not too far away from English. We would say give a hand. Yeah, so giv en hånd. Giver du en hånd? Skal jeg give en hånd? Should I help you? Yeah. Do you want me to lend a hand? In school, we would talk about, or the teacher might say something and say, ræk hånden op. Put up your hand. And when we say that, this is actually a cultural thing. When we say that, normally in a lot of countries, when children put up their hand in class, they would put up their hand, like this. But in Denmark, we actually put up our finger. Our index finger specifically. We do like this. We're not pointing to the ceiling, although it looked like that. It looks like that, but we're not. But we put up our finger, but we call it either ræk hånden op or like fingeren up. Either goes, yeah? So that's what teachers say in school. We don't put up our hand, we put our finger up. So ræk hånden op, ræk hånden op. We also have this word hånd in, for example, tage hånd om. And we would say tage in the very abbreviated form, yeah, the reduced form, because that's how Danes often speak. We reduce, we cut, we swallow, we eat endings and syllables. So we would say tage hånd om. It means to take care of something. Det tager jeg hånd om. Det tager de hånd om. Yeah, tager hånd om. But it is with a hand in it, yeah? We could also say that something is på forhånd, which is in advance. Beforehand, there's a little bit in that, yeah? Jeg gør det på forhånd. I'll do it beforehand. I'll do it in advance, yeah? When we hold hands, we would say holde i hånden. Hånden, yeah, the singular definite form, holde i hånden. De holdt hinanden i hånden, which is a bit strange. They, plural, held each other's hand. That is, I hold your hand, you hold my hand. So for each person, it's just one hand that they're holding. But in English, they hold hands, right? So you see like the bigger picture or their collected picture, the picture like in itself from the outside, yeah? Well, we more see it from the inside from each person. It's very interesting how we see things. It's cultural how we think, yeah? And then we could also in Danish say holde hinanden i hænderne. So in their hands. You could also say that in Danish. Vi holder hinanden i hænderne. Hold hinanden i hænderne. So we can say both, yeah? One last one I want to mention, of course, there are more. These are just examples, is håndklæde. Håndklæde means a towel. And if you watch my video about when Danes are speaking nonsense, this is one of the words that I mention, yeah? Because a lot of Danes don't say håndklæde. Klæde means sort of cloth, yeah, hand cloth. We, or often Danes would say håndklæde, because it's easier than saying håndklæde. So going from the N sound, there is a silent D in this word, yeah? H, A with a circle above, N, D, but that D is silent. So we go from a pronounced N to the K, håndklæde. And that is just more difficult for a lot of people than to say håndklæde. The NG, the kind of sound is closer to K than the N is. Yeah, so that's why we say that, håndklæde. But it really is håndklæde. Yeah. That was the last example of this word. Remember, you can support my work, check the comments, and if you would like a Danish course with me, then write to Tina at danishmatters.dk. Thank you so much for watching.